Before you drive off, set the bicycle to the desired power assistance level. This is done with the arrow keys on the right side of the handlebar. The different power modes, from Eco to Turbo, determine the level of electric support. You still have to pedal yourself just like on a normal bicycle, but there is no need to change gears. Check if the parking brake is fully down and lower it gently if necessary. Position the pedal so that you can easily apply power. Do this every time you set off. Before you hit the road, check if the brakes are working properly. It is advisable to always use both brakes, especially in an emergency stop. The unique tilt system gives this tricycle the maneuverability of a regular bicycle. It takes some time getting used to, but you can be confident in the fact that the bike will not tip over and is very maneuverable. Try to ride the cargo bike like you would your own bicycle, and you will notice that it is actually very easy. Once on the road, it is important to keep the dimensions of the bike in mind. Suddenly swerving for other traffic can be more complicated. Where you can normally use the rule of thumb that your rear wheel follows the path of your front wheel, you must now take into account that the rear of the bike is a lot wider and longer than you're used to, so keep some margin on both sides and watch out for curbs. When riding, it's best to imagine a cube the same size as your bike a few meters in front of you. This way, you can assess if certain situations could become tricky. Instead of using your front wheel as a guide, it is better to use your handlebars. If these fit easily through a tight street, alley, or curve, then the rest of your bike will fit too. If there is enough room, overtake other road users with a wide turn and without a big speed difference. Other road users can turn unexpectedly. Remember that cyclists or pedestrians often don't assume that such a large bicycle will pass them at great speed. You've probably heard it before, but it's very important. Priority is not something you take, it is given. Even though in most situations you are entitled to priority from the left, check and be sure that a fellow road user has seen you and gives you the right of way. You are traveling with a large and heavy bicycle and don't want to startle other road users. Do you have to wait for a traffic light? Then join at the back of the queue and be sure to not block other road users. You are taking up more space than other cyclists. Slow-moving traffic can be overtaken as soon as you are on your way again. In addition to watching carefully what is happening in front of you, it is good to know what is happening around your bike too. Start anticipating early on, especially when cornering or turning. Check your mirrors to make sure you are not being overtaken. Use your indicator in advance to show that you are about to turn, and, when leaning into the corner, look over your shoulder to make sure the road is really clear to pass. That way, you won't have any surprises. Don't forget to turn off your indicator after turning. If you suspect that a road is too narrow to pass oncoming traffic, it is better to choose another route. In the unlikely event that you find yourself in a situation where you cannot continue, you can turn the bike in two ways. The first is to stand in front of the handlebar and push the bike backwards, which gives you a better overview of everything behind the bike. A second option, if you have more room, is by tilting the handlebars and turning them completely to one side. In this position, the bike has the smallest turning radius and spins smoothly around its axis. This is the easiest way to make a U-turn. The Fulpra Cargo Bike is perfect for use in busy urban areas, but these areas don't always consist of smooth stretches of asphalt. You'll encounter speed bumps, potholes, and curbs that you'd better approach with caution. After all, these are not only bad for your bike, but can also damage your cargo. Finally, you should realize that this professional cargo bike serves as a driving business card. Thus, antisocial driving behavior not only has a negative impact on your image, but also on that of your company or employer. Once at your destination, park the bike so that you do not block other traffic. For example, place it close to the side of the road. Keep in mind that you should still be able to reach the cargo area, or, if you are using rollable containers, for example, that you are still able to get them out of the loading bay easily. It may also be the case that you have to park a little further away from your destination. This only costs you a few extra seconds, but it saves other road users a lot of frustration. Therefore, start looking for places to park your bike a few seconds before you reach your destination. In some situations, it is best to use the parking brake. Squeeze the right handbrake and push the parking brake lever all the way up. The braking force of the parking brake is then at its maximum. Lower the handbrake gently to drive away again. And are you in a busy area? Then always lock the bike and the cargo area.